Hey, so
Hello,
we're back again for another week. If you're out there, holla. So I am Nubia. What do I go
and
by?
I'm Ajua,
And we're here on Connecticut Housewives.
and we're Housewives of Connecticut.
So, okay, got to turn that off. All right, so
Good.
yay! Look at this technology. Oh my gosh. Somebody
Ooh,
somewhere needs to be like writing down this note because we came on today with no technical difficulties. I love your background. Look at
thank you,
you.
dear.
I love your twist. I remember that twist from high school. We used to do that twist from
Oh,
high
yes.
school.
Yes, we
I didn't get that,
do.
I didn't get that memo, or so we would have been like matching like 20 twins up in here. Or maybe I just have to do it because we got an hour. So maybe look, this headband's here to hold down the
Lay,
grave stuff that is
lay,
popping up. Yes. You slather on a little bit of stuff. Sometimes it doesn't work. You just kind of,
lay and slay, right?
So we're here on the YouTube. Welcome, welcome. So I'm not sure if interviews were on last week. My sister was doing an appointment with you had Pop in. Did you have Pop in the car? No, you had your granddaughter in the car last week, and doing an appointment, and that what's it called? The internet just wasn't internet. It just wasn't netting. It just wasn't.
No,
And
no,
that's
no.
how it is sometimes. And then I
Mm-hmm.
decided while she was doing stops and trying to find the good connection, that I would
Ugh.
just like go live on tickety the TT the tickety tick.
The ticket is not gonna-
So I was just,
Mhm.
we all have to do new things, try
Mhm.
new things every once in a while. And I was trying something new, and that was kind of fun. So it looks like there is actually two people in the chat room already. Can you see? Or I'd have to go over here.
Oh, I forgot. I need to go to the YouTube.
Let's see. So if you're in the chat, just say your name and say where you're from and all that good stuff. Let's see. You know what? What I'm
What?
gonna do is right in the middle. I'm gonna click on. Let's see what we have for a background design.
Okay.
Let's see. Let's see. I'm trying to figure out people. If you're all technically, how do I change my background? I like it, but I want to have it like, I want to pretend I'm in Paris or Spain or on
Ooh
a
la la.
safari in Africa or something like that. Something like that. So I'm just trying to change up the background a little bit and see if, yeah, no, nothing's going on there with that. But do you see anybody in the chat?
No, not yet.
If somebody's in there, I think people they pop in and they pop out and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Holly is there. Praise the Lord. She said hi.
Holly.
So we do have a friend. So our veteran friend that's coming on, she I don't know, she may be around the same age as our younger sister who's in,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, I'm not gonna tell her age or whatever, but she's a female veteran that I met, and she has 3 girls, and she's from Jamaica. But we'll let her, she's working it out because she's coming from an appointment also, and she'll be hopping on shortly.
Yeah,
So
man.
let me see her. So it's nice to have you in the room, Miss Holly. Miss Holly. So let me see. Hello and welcome. Yeah. So what are some things we're going to talk about today? What's on
So,
your heart? What's on your heart?
so we're going to discuss hair and hair appointments. We're going to discuss new products. We're going to discuss some elderly care, and we're going to discuss just the goings in and going outs, the hustle and bustle of the days.
Actually, exactly, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I thought that our friend, when she comes on, I knew her from my side over here in Connecticut. She says, "Can I come on your show? I know I'm not but you know what? She's lives in Connecticut, and she was once married, and there's no real criteria to come and join us. If you just say, 'Can I join?'
Right.
I'm gonna say, 'Come on in, join.'
Yes.
We're gonna have to have Miss Holly come on in here too one day. I'm gonna send you the link one day and have you just pop in here with us, Miss Holly. We can just have a spiritual hallelujah day or something, something
Mm-hmm.
totally identify with, right? Woo.
Well,
Um,
hello, Holly. Well, hello, Holly. It's so
yeah,
nice to have you back where you belong.
don't ask me for the next phrase, but I don't know it.
Yeah.
um, we need to have it every time we think of a song. We just kind of like, boop, that song is there, pop it in.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. Like I said, we popped on and we had no technical difficulties. God is good, for
God
sure,
is
for
great
sure. Yes,
and greatly to be praised.
and greatly to be praised.
Amen.
So yeah, so hair appointment. Tell us about your leaving
Oh,
names out and leaving blah blah blahs out. But tell us about your hair appointment. Well, you should have left some string out. Leave a string out so we can see how it's
I
growing.
know,
How
right? Something, little
ooh,
something. So I'm just gonna let it down a little bit because it's like really easy to put back up.
yeah,
So
just the back. I
long
like the
story.
front, but the back.
So I
Yeah.
had my So I had my appointment last week,
Uh-huh.
and I got my hair retightened,
Yes.
which is amazing. And my
Because of course,
loctician.
when you get yours done, you get to lay back and have a shampoo every single time.
Yes, my dear. Yes, that's the rules, and I love the fact that that's her etiquette. For her, it's like that's she will not do anyone's hair if she cannot wash it. And I think it's amazing. You get an opportunity to sit in a bowl, lean back, relax, and get that head massaged and cleaned.
That's what I'm talking about. That's
That
what
that so it's kind of like I don't know if anybody calls the hair appointments like personal care or whatever, but that is like, honey, my sister is like really trying to, reiterate for me, personal care, time out between her and my children, they're actually, it's sinking in. So
it's
yeah, I got my hair retied, and I'll just say that, what a difference between, what it was before I go and then after. It's like, oh yes.
now,
So
what
yeah,
people, for people who don't know, like the ends, you can't tell so much here, but in here it gets fuzzy. That's like if a person was going to get their hair dyed, and then
yeah.
if you were blonde all back here,
Mhm.
then your roots would be dark, or
Yeah.
whatever. And so for us, it just gets fuzzy in here, and
Mhm.
our lines are not as distinct. So like I just got mine done today, and so I have perfectly non-fuzzy lines in
Yes.
our grid. They call it a grid. So all the
Yes.
lines, think of a graph paper, all the lines are going in the lines that in the direction they should be going. So
Mhm.
that's what that's all about. And yeah, now in the defense of mine, I love my loctician, but she doesn't include or incorporate shampoos. So I was telling her yesterday that I would like to, have like a roller set or whatever. And she said that people, they do these pipeline things, but what's those things that we did? People are probably using it for decoration nowadays for the holiday, but what's it? They're like those little piping,
Not the pipe cleaners,
not pipe cleaners. They're like,
but
they
they
look
but they
like,
have like I actually have one in the in my bathroom, but it's like a little spongy. It's just like a little spongy roller, and you just put
well,
it on, and you fold it over and fold it over, and it's
those, you can do those
mm,
too, but
yeah.
it's like, it looks like, okay, here's my mascara. It's like the end of the mascara thing. You know how it's like this, but it's long.
Mm,
They used to come in like red and green. When we were kids, you could take them and twist them all up.
yeah.
So they take these little things like that, and they take a few, I don't know, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 strands, because mine's are really small, and they wrap it around there like long way. They do it like the long way, because you can do that with
Oh
those
yeah,
too,
yeah.
and it gives you like a really crinkled look.
Right.
So she said that she could do it, but if she does it dry, it'll probably only last 3 days, which is cool.
Hmm.
But if you have a roller set like that, using those things we were
Right.
just talking about, then that would last very,
Yeah.
because it would be nice and tight, and then they would
Hmm.
eventually fall down.
Right.
So
Hmm.
that's what I said, well, not, I don't want it as an everyday thing. I want to think of like if I have a special occasion to go to, or, then I would definitely go back and do that. But I would prefer it to be a roller wash set,
Right.
you know.
Hmm.
So anyway,
So,
go ahead.
but that's funny though, because my loctician, she's actually making a whole transition to where, you know, it's going to be a spa day. When you go, you're there for like 3 or 4 hours, and it's going to be a spa day. I'm talking about you getting your hair steamed and getting a hair treatment, and just everything, So of course, with that comes a price,
Yeah.
but it's like, am I worth the price?
Yeah.
And is it in my budget?
Right.
So I will make it in my budget and see how it goes, But I'm so excited about. I've actually never had like a hair facial, whatever spa day.
Right.
Maybe body
And
spa.
I have, but
Oh yeah.
not including my hair, like with loctician thing. But
Um,
I love that, and I wish I could fly there and do that at least once or twice a year. Like seriously, but I know that she wants her is for her, the ones that she started
clientele.
initially, and so I guess I have to shoot somebody, me, you, someone needs to come up with that in all these different locations, because that would be an awesome day to just go get your hair done, shampooed, and then just
Yes.
have a spa day, including your facial, your hands, your feet.
Hmm. Right. And I think I mentioned last time that she actually has the classes. She has a class for you to know how to retighten your own hair
Mm-hmm.
in your own grid, and she'll give you like your grid pattern. Just like
Mm-hmm.
amazing. It's like, she's willing to, and then she'll also she gives classes for you to teach, for you to actually do hair, like
Yes.
have your own business.
Right. Different
You
price
know?
because I'm sure one-on-one with me, and I would like to learn my own grid and
Yeah.
to learn how to do my own hair. Not saying
Right.
I would do it on time, but just to mend and fix the edges or whatever, that would be cool. And to have my own grid pattern. But
Right.
at that price point is going to be different from learning how to do other people's hair. But that really, that thought has been there for the last, because I think January would be 4 years for me. So that thought has crossed my mind many a times. But
Yes.
yeah, the time is the thought of the time and all that kind of stuff. What did Amy send you a message?
I know. I'm looking at Holly. Holly's responding. She says, "I said hi, Holly." She says, "Yes, LOL, pretty."
Yeah. So yeah. So let me drink some water because of course we're all about drinking the water. I'm not sure if you need to run and get your water.
Oh, contraire, mon frère. Voilà.
All right. Okay, Miss Holly, go get your water. Go get your water, Miss Holly. Yeah, so I actually had it in my calendar. I think I wrote it in I love Google Calendar. So on my Google Calendar, I put in there what I put in there, self-care. So and I think the thing about the price point, because we didn't mention what the price point is, you'll have to call your electrician to find out themselves. But I mean, if we were at a place where we could do that monthly, that would be awesome.
I
But
know.
that to me would be like a special anniversary, or you're turning, your age is circling the earth one more time. You know what I mean? Those special kind of days. I think that would be awesome. But the fact that she only takes her own clients makes sense, but it just hurts my heart because I really would want to fly out there and do something like that, and then I get to spend time and have lunch with you. That'd be cool.
First of all, you knew her before I knew her. I don't know. Maybe she'd have mercy and allow you that. Just expect hope for the best, but expect the worst. Because she's got her thing going.
Yeah. And look, we ain't mad at that for sure.
Absolutely not. I said, praise the Lord. I celebrate her and I celebrate her victories. Her victories are my victories because I know when mine comes, I know she's going to celebrate with me.
Exactly. And then when you sit in the chair, she's ministering to you and all that kind of stuff,
And vice versa.
Yes, exactly. You guys are having a Holy Ghost time. So we'll have to bring up the fact, because our guest, she's had lifetime sister locks, no dreadlocks. I'm not sure what she calls hers, but we'll let her explain that when she comes on. So she should be on. I don't know, momentarily. She's traveling through. So have some veteran chit chat with her. So while we're waiting for her, so what new any new products? Any new let's see, where we just did we talked about what topics we're going to be talking about, and so anything holistic, anything new? I told you I went to my new holistic lady, and man, if y'all have never done the pH test with the swabs where you put it on your tongue, and do you have that kit? Somebody was telling me if they had that kit. I'm not sure. No. I don't know who said that they had that, but now it makes me want to invest and get something like that from somewhere, anywhere.
Right.
Look, because we're not any affiliate market. Nobody's paying us nothing, so we're gonna say get it where you can get it. Get it where you can get it until we have a link down the bottom saying, "Hey, shop with us." But yeah, so she had me take the pH swab test and put it on my tongue, and then she put gauged it to where they have all the different color codes on the thing. I was like, what? I was nowhere near where I should be, So that's the thing. It's like we need to start eating and feeding our body the nutrients. But sometimes you can be eating the things that have the nutrients in it, but because we're low on let's see, what was it, like magnesium or calcium, or what was the other thing I might have told you? Zinc.
Zinc. But also, we didn't talk about chromium as well.
Okay, so that didn't come up with my thing with her, but what can you tell us about that?
So it's another component that we don't get from very many places, and we actually need to implement it into our diets. Let me see if I can pull it up. The benefits of chromium.
So, and the interesting thing is that when she did all these tests, and it had nothing to do with blood at all. She just it's holistic. But anyway, I wish that our cousin our doctor, Delete, and our cousin would live closer because I would definitely walk right into her clinic and have all these things done. So I did, had the analysis, whatever. And then she looked over I came back a week later, and then she looked over my thing, whatever. And so I guess hopefully throughout the year, I'll be working with her off and on. So that I just want to know, sometimes we go to, and we love the system of the VA because they have greatly benefited my family and greatly benefited your family and our dad and everything. But they don't always say, okay, you know what, you're deficient in this area and it's affecting this area. They don't really say that. They go by, the traditional way of, okay, you're lacking this, take a pill. So I do definitely, because I'm in Connecticut, I'm not going to get enough vitamin D. So I do try and remember to wake up every morning and take with the capsules. I love the capsules way better. The gel capsules way better than the chalky stuff,
And then I learned if you're taking a gel capsule, you need to take it. Don't take it with water. It's an oil in a gel capsule, especially when it's like fish oil and stuff like that. You need to eat it with almonds or eat it with walnuts, something that has oil. Eat it with avocado.
Okay. Well, thank you for telling me that. I didn't know that.
Yes. Okay, I'm sorry. So I'm going to interject. We interject with each other. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
You know what's hard too? I've been noticing that Brazilian nuts are like the bomb diggity. Yes. Now they're all good for you, but all the things that I've been looking at this past week and beyond, Brazil nut always comes up. And a lot of stores don't sell Brazil nuts by themselves.
They sell them during the holidays, so if you're gonna find them, Christmas time is when you're gonna find them most. And remember, when we were growing up, that was a nut that was actually out. It was out during Christmas time frame. So look in your local grocery stores, for Brazilian nuts during this time frame. I don't know if it's actually the time to harvest or what.
Cashews.
Oh yes,
So I love how my husband said, that if you were in Brazil, those nuts would just be called nuts.
That's like I have a game. It's called Mexican Train instead of calling it train. It's like, why is it having Mexican Train? It could have been anything. It's a train game, right? Mm-hmm. Train game.
Mm-hmm. And before anybody makes a comment, her husband's Mexican, so she can say what she wants, and her children can say what she wants.
At least 3 of them.
It's not. She's not being. She's just being. Mm-hmm. So so I'm looking at this package. They fluffed it up because it's almonds, which of course they're not good. They're not bad for you, but it's full of cashew nuts. Mm-hmm. Almonds. I think I'd have to dig hard and long to find a. Now that's still an almond.
A pecan? What about pecans?
No, let me see. Mm-mm. It says Brazil nuts. Oh, it does say pecan, but I don't see. I must have ate the one pecan.
You probably thought it was a walnut or a pecan. So, but isn't it funny how a walnut is like designed like our brain? You look at a walnut. Yes,
I remember that. I had back when I had
biology
hot meal. I had hot meal, and somebody sent me a list of all the nuts and all the different things and why it looks like the walnut looks like your brain because it's good for your brain. The such and such looks like the whatever, this and this and that.
The broccoli, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So that was, but of course my my Hotmail account got hacked a long time ago, so I don't have that anymore.
Hotmail.
I don't know anybody who still has it anymore.
Hotmail is like no. I have a Hotmail account. Who uses Hotmail?
I mean, if I still have that account, because that was like the prime thing before. Remember, before Facebook, there was another there was another one. What was it called?
Yahoo? Oh no, it was
Come on, anybody in the comments too. Help us out here.
Oy.
What was it called?
Can't think of what it is. Something like MySpace.
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 Yeah, yes. MySpace. That's what it's called. That was a thing right there. Oh, I think I'm finally finding a. Sorry, guys. I think that's still a cashew. I'm trying to find what the Brazilian. You know what? It's fluff, and you can't go wrong with a package of good nuts. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm like, can you at least give me a good equal amount of everything?
Right. So before I forget, back to the Chromium, and I should know this, seeing that they have diagnosed our father and me, according to them, prediabetes. I was prediabetes for a long time. Now they're saying that I too have diabetes, like my father. Mm-hmm. But here it says the benefits of Chromium. It regulates your blood sugar. It says that Chromium enhances the activity of your insulin. It says that it's a hormone that controls blood sugar levels, and that it's beneficial for individuals with type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. By improving the glucose tolerance and reducing the insulin resistance.
So do you guys buy Chromium pills?
So that, as I say, I'm about to be, this is a thing here down south. You might hear some people say, I'm about to be on my way. So I'm going to say, I'm about to buy me some Chromium.
How they say that? It's not like if they were in Tampa, they say, instead of saying
Fitna.
And where are you? I'm out by it. Out by it. One Brazilian nut out of the whole.
And it's not even a whole nut.
It's just a whole round circle. Oh, don't look at. Ooh, I gotta take this polish off, guys.
I thought the Brazilian nut was the nut that was like more like a long, like a half moon kind of shape to it.
Well, that's a cashew.
No, cashew is like
half moon.
Okay, so now you're gonna cause me to go to pictures. Okay, so let me just go from like the
cashew.
No, I know what a cashew is, sister. Now I gotta show you now I have to show you what a Brazilian nut looks like, because clearly
you want to show me a real healthy, robust. Because that was I ate it. That was definitely a Brazilian nut.
Yes. Okay, so let's see.
Oh, our friend's coming in. She's coming in.
Right. So this is a Brazilian nut. This is the.
Hey.
Hi there.
We're looking at nuts and Brazilian nuts. Girl, how you do? Now she got the prettiest background ever. Let me how she figure out her background, and you and I are still trying to figure out our background.
You need to figure out the background before we go on.
I know. See, I'm gonna have me a coffee break with her. So Dadrian, this is my sister Ajua and Nubia, as you know. So wow, we'll pause the nut conversation.
All right, well hold.
So she's my veteran friend. Tell us a little bit about you. How's your day?
It's busy. My day starts like at 5:30 every morning because I gotta take my daughter to the bus stop. Her bus comes at like 6:05.
Wow. Woo! Praise God. Woo. Let me girl. You, That is early.
Oh Lord.
Okay, so you take her to the bus stop. That's your oldest daughter, because you have 3 daughters.
Yes, I have 3 girls.
Mm-hmm.
I take her to the bus, and then I usually try to go back to sleep, but I had a lot of appointments today at the VA, and I had to, get myself together and wash the dishes. So I did some laundry, and then I did lay back down for a little bit, but I got to browsing, and my hour went by. So I got up and got busy, and then I left for the VA. Got there a little late, and then the parking, it was ridiculous.
Oh, girl, I was there yesterday. We could almost had our appointment. We almost could have bumped into each other yesterday. Yeah. I circled that parking lot 3 times before I actually found a spot to park, because they're still building our new parking lot thing.
So I was super late to my first appointment. They saw me anyway, and I was late to my second appointment. They saw me. I had to reschedule the appointment. So that was January, and but my first 2 appointments were good. I'll be getting what I need. I got a heating pad for my back, so that was helpful.
All right.
There are referrals for my feet, so it was.
I love it how sorry, I didn't mean to cut you up. I bumped into somebody else that I did know in the VA, and if you know the right words to say, and your primary care person, this girl that I know, this young lady my age, she's getting a tummy tuck, and they're paying for it.
What?
Girl,
what's the word, son of bird?
I know. I said, you and I need to go to have coffee or something, or maybe I'll have her.
Yeah. Pull up her medical records so you can see the key words that she used or whatever they refer to. You know what I'm saying?
I know.
Exactly.
I know I need to try and do it myself first and get my backside off the couch and just walk for right foods, because that's what we're talking about today, different foods and stuff like that. So awesome. So girl, you packed all your appointments in one day.
Yes, because my daughter's grandmother, she's visiting from Arkansas, and she leaves tomorrow. So I wanted to make sure I got in as many appointments as I could while she was here.
Girl, I was talking to a friend of mine. Girl, now you need to go and have lunch and either go and sit in the place or eat it in your car. Because I had someone said, why I heard this meme that Moms go. Oh. It said, moms go and get shakes and eat their food and sit in the stop and shop parking lot. I'm like, girl, it's not crazy. We do that. We do that. You know.
Okay. Now, in saying that,
Yeah.
you just sent me a link saying that we ought not sit in our cars and be unaware of our surroundings
Well,
because
that was your driveway in the dark in front of your house. Yeah, but still,
Okay, yeah.
go to a well-lit park, stop and shop, or
Yes.
Kroger's, or what do you have in your Audua, what do you have in the big name grocery store?
HEB, baby, you know that.
Girl, don't try and make me remember stuff when I'm trying to remember other stuff. But yes, a well-lit place and your doors are locked. Make sure you're locked inside. Yeah.
Mm-hmm,
So that was something it was a well-to-do area, and the lady was sitting in her own driveway, and they said if you do that, back into your driveway, leave your door down, because people are just popping in the back seat, and held her at gunpoint. Sorry. And she ended up grabbing her keys and running down the street and calling her daughter, because the guy went to the front door. She thought the guy was going to chase her. He went to the front door, and she was telling her daughter, "Don't open the door! Don't open the door! Call 911." The guy at the door, "Don't open it. He has a GUN." So, guys, it's just crazy time.
What the guy was saying was that when she turned the car off, her door locks automatically
Automatically unlocks. Yeah. Turn the car off.
Exactly. So what he said was, there's a device, or there's some kind of, we have to look through our manuals or go to our car dealerships and talk to them about deactivating that possibility or that ability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But crazy.
Yeah. So make sure your doors are locked while you enjoy your lunch, girl.
Yes.
Yes.
Was that something Jamaican? What was that? What'd you eat?
It was I got a bento box from a Japanese place.
Offline. You got to share that place with me offline, girl. Offline.
Okay.
Why offline? Shoot.
Because our state is very small, and I don't want somebody trying to meet us and whatever. You know what I'm saying? If that's your favorite place, you don't want people be sitting there.
Roger that.
We don't have 1,000 followers yet, but you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
Yep. So, girl, you're looking beautiful today. You are.
I knew I was coming to be on the podcast, and then it's a spring winter day, so I was like, let me dress the part and just brighten up the day.
Yes.
It's look. We got high at 555. What do you got in Texas? What you got in Texas? We're 55 right now.
Oh, let's see. We are 64. But wait, it's gonna get warmer. It's been in the 70s all week.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
Yeah. So what are some of the things that are warm and dear to your heart? I mean, we've known each other now, I don't know, it has been about a year, because you went to that spa thing last year, and you just went again. And so the difficulties, or I love how you speak to your children. You're a single mom, right?
Yes.
And and your age range of your daughters are
12, 3, and 1.
Oh, God bless you, Mama.
I know. So
that's called starting all over again.
And that's actually my first two are really close. Your Audra, your first two are really close. And then my third daughter is 3 years behind the middle daughter, and then my son is 6 years behind her. So there's a little bit of space there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what are some challenging things? What are some things that you'd like to talk about?
Well, when you say challenging, I guess the first thing is my physical disability. I have I was hit by a drunk driver, actually, head on the night before my graduation from college. So
Jesus.
Mm. How many years ago was that?
This was in 2008.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
After my deployment, I was in Iraq from the end of 2004 through most of 2005, and I went back to college and was about to graduate. And the night before, I was leaving my off-campus apartment to go on campus, and I remember making the right turn, and then I remember I opened my eyes, and there were firefighters all surrounding me. They said they're going to lift something off my leg, and I heard the helicopter in the distance because I had to be medevaced to the hospital. And I screamed out in pain, and And I don't remember anything else till it was Saturday. My first day I remember is Tuesday. So my knee and ankle were shattered, and I had a seizure in the car, and I had a seizure in the helicopter, and they had to intubate me in the helicopter and put me on a ventilator. So
Wow.
the challenge that I face now is just being physically disabled. I have to wear a brace on my leg, but I'm thankful to be alive because
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Start with that, right?
yes,
Yeah.
the challenge is just, I mean, I was a soldier, so being physically disabled, I don't think it stops me. I don't really let it stop me, but
Right.
it's challenging, having pain every day and having difficulty. Sometimes I can't carry the girls, so they say, pick me up, pick me up. I'm like, let's go to the couch. I'll hold you. Let's go. I mean, sit down first and then I'll hold you, But
Mhm.
I do
Yeah.
a lot of baby wearing. That helps me when I had my when they're
Mm.
infants, I wear them. And
Mhm.
I have a double stroller for the 1 and 3-year-old. And so that's the first challenge that I face is the physical challenge. I would say the other challenge is just, I mean, I guess I don't really recognize the challenges because
Right.
anything stop me from getting what I need to get done. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Mhm.
Right.
My oldest daughter is the most active. She does competitive double dutch. She has tennis on Sundays,
Hmm.
Wow.
on Wednesdays, and on Thursdays she's in a girl empowerment group.
Oh
So
wow.
Wow.
I try to keep her engaged. And my 3-year-old started gymnastics right after she turned 3 in October. So she does gymnastics on Tuesdays. And then I bring the 1 and 3-year-old to a play group on Thursdays during the day. So,
Mhm.
I mean, I just make sure they stay engaged and busy.
Yeah.
And in the future, I'll be homeschooling them. So I feel like then I'll see more challenges. So I think I'll probably encounter some challenges there. But, I like the sun is shining. I have a motto that the sun, even when it's cloudy, the sun is shining because there's
That's
always
right.
something positive to come from the things. Because the car accident was just the beginning of the challenges and trauma that I've endured.
Mhm.
I must acknowledge the losses that I've suffered. My parents
Mhm.
both passed away in 2011 in
Mm.
cancer. So they died before any of my children were born. So
Mhm.
um, that is a major gap, in my life.
Mhm.
And
Right.
so, and then my brother passed away. He's right here. Let me show him.
Lord,
Uh,
Lord, Lord.
Where
Oh.
Oh.
Yes. Yes.
And so he was a big part of my life too. So that's challenging. And my cousin Sonia, she died on Christmas morning. She's really like my sister-in-law. She died on
Mm.
Christmas last year.
Yeah.
And my daughter, that's her first major loss. She was actually crying about it 2 nights ago. I scared her and made her cry, but then it turned into weeping. And I'm like, what's wrong? And she was just missing Auntie Sonia. So um,
Mm.
just facing things like that are challenging.
Right.
Especially
Yeah.
during the season, right? Especially during the
Yeah,
season. Yeah.
yes. So,
Mm.
in order to, my way of honoring them is just to like, I was talking about this to myself earlier, and I tried to give my daughter this perspective that time, we don't know really how time functions. And so
Mhm.
I think of them like the memories I have, they're still occurring in the past, you know what I mean? And they're still
Mhm.
Mm.
happening, even though I'm in this future, this present moment, like I kind of like time travel to the past to
Mhm.
like remember that moment in time, and I think of their spirit being everlasting and they're having the freedom now, their souls being free to just do whatever wonderful thing that they wanted to experience. So the challenge of loss is something that I face, but I find ways to just, like I say, find the sunshine in that moment.
Mhm.
Right. Right. Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. And your brother has a beautiful smile.
Thank you. He was the one. He was like the best person I've known in my life. I
Yeah.
truly say that.
Mm.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
What a blessing.
Yeah.
What a blessing to
So,
be able to say that, you
and
know?
I remember you saying that because I have not negative or positive feelings as far as celebrating certain holidays, and you said that you weren't really a holiday person, but because you said your brother really loved, well, you could tell us about that.
Yeah.
And
So yeah, well, as a child, of course, we celebrated Christmas and things like that. Going to my grandfather's house and my mother and father putting Christmas under the tree, presents under the tree and everything. But as an adult, it became challenging to keep up like financially with providing for all the nieces and nephews and cousins and things. So when I was in college, I just decided my presents will be the present. I'm not buying gifts anymore, So
Right.
just, and I don't really, I don't put decorations up or anything. I would just, my daughter, when she grew, I said, we don't have it in our house, but doesn't mean that we can't enjoy it at other people's houses. We're just there for the family, but if people want to give you presents, that's fine. You can accept it. I'm just not, mommy doesn't do that, so she got used to that. And over time, I decided to celebrate Kwanzaa because I liked the principles that it had. But this year, after my brother's passing, I decided to celebrate Christmas at home because he really loved Christmas. So I got a little tree on the desk in front of the window, and I got a felt tree on the wall that the girls decorated with their grandma. And I'm buying each girl one present from me. I'll just buy them one gift to wrap and put under the tree so they'll have that experience. And I'm just doing it to honor him because he really loved Christmas.
That's a lot of loss that you've had to get used to or to work your way through over the years.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So what are some ways that you, besides honoring your brother in that way by putting up the tree, what are some other ways that you, because that's, your mom and dad are gone and your brother, and so many, that's a lot of loss for a person, any person, So what are some things that you do to try and cope?
I think before they died, I kind of knew it was going to happen, so I kind of figured out, how am I going to deal with this? What's my belief going to be? And I had a good friend that was into African spirituality, so I learned some things from him. And then I remember in physics class, they say like energy it just transforms, it goes into a different form or something like that. So I just held on to that belief. And then a year or two before my parents passed away, my aunt's brother passed away. We went to his funeral, and I was crying, and then I embraced my father, and then I realized that one day he won't be there. So I actually cried for him during that time while I was mourning my cousin. I kind of preemptively wept for him. And so just I feel like I have that belief that their energy doesn't die. I honor them. I meditate thinking about them. I pour libation and welcome their spirit and energy into my home, and any good thing like that happens, I give credit to God and them. Like, I believe in God. I'm not a religious person, but I do believe in God. And I honor my ancestors because, like, I know it's a fact that without them, I wouldn't be here. They are my predecessors. So I try to give reverence and honor to them. So those things are some of the ways that I like deal with the loss, is just trying to keep them close spiritually and tell my daughters about them. I have a huge picture of them in my living room. And so just keeping their presence present, keeping and telling stories, making sure my girls know about them, even though they've never met them.
Right.
So I know. So we also thank you for sharing that with us too. So what about self-care for you? I mean, I know that that's probably like a new concept because even my sister and I, I'm always telling her, because she's a caregiver for our father right now, full time, that we love our children, and she has grandchildren. I don't have grandchildren yet, and so even going to get your hair done, like, have you started to incorporate some of these things that people around you are telling you that love you? Is like, this is important. You gotta get your meal, sit in the car and eat it. And tell us about the last spa thing you just did. That was that they did it last year and you did it again this year.
Oh, yes. Okay. So I realized that I had been neglecting myself when I look at my hair. Not that I'm not like a neat lock person.
No, it looks beautiful. It looks beautiful.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, thank you. I don't mind it tight and neat all the time, but it was starting to like thin and like I'll call it a weak edge, and I hadn't done it in so long. So probably once or twice a year I try to do my hair because it's costly.
Yes, girl. We know that. We know that. Yeah.
And my loctician, she's a spiritual, wonderful person, and she had these healing retreats. So thankfully, the girl's grandmother was in town last October, and I was able to go to one of her healing retreats, like a wellness retreat. It's just a day-long thing we learned like breathing techniques, and we just talked about different ways to like take care of yourself, and it was really awesome. And I tried to spend time with my family. That's nourishing to me, you know. So after the healing retreat, I went to my cousin's wedding, and my brother was there. It was just a wonderful time. So that was one of the last family events that we were all at together, and I look back at those pictures and videos happily. And but on a regular basis, my self-care probably isn't the best kind of self-care because it's food related. I stay up after the girls go to sleep. I stay up and watch something and eat something.
Sometimes we have to do things for comfort, you know. So I get that. Yeah, that's awesome. So we were saying, so I just had my appointment yesterday for my sister locks, and my sister also has I think it took me, well, January will be 4 years that I've had my sister locks, and then my sister, how long, sister, have you had your sister locks?
I just hit a year last month.
Oh, cool.
Okay. And so, and yours obviously down here. How long have you had yours?
Actually, since 2008, while I was recovering from the accident, I couldn't walk for a month.
Right.
I had my cousin, she did like 2-strand twists, and that, and that's how my locks became locks.
Beautiful. They're beautiful.
Thanks.
So you think that people have gotten away from the term of using dreadlocks? You just call them, I think it is nice to just say locks, but is there any kind of negative connotation as far as using the dreadlock?
I believe because it comes from dreadful. I think it was negatively viewed when they first started. So that's why I personally just say locks, because of the negative connotation with dread. But it doesn't bother me when people say dreadlocks, but I'm just using locks, you know.
Right.
So Holly actually typed in here that both her parents are resting with the Lord as well.
In our comment section, there's people that are popping in the comment section.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
My goodness.
So now, would you want to share the experience of your daughter having locks or not? I mean, just share whatever you want to. You don't have to share.
Sure. Yeah. I can share that. So when my daughter was probably 3 years old, I would do like 2-strand twists in her hair, and then one day she's like, "Mommy, I just want my lines." You call them lines. I just want my lines. So I figured that she didn't want to keep doing her hair. So I twisted them and let them turn into locks. And then unfortunately, the following year, because they had locked, but you know, they were 2-strand, so they were removable. I had separated from her father right after she turned 4 years old. And one time when I sent her with him, because I made sure that, you know, to have a peaceful co-parenting, I tried to have that. And she would go with him on the weekends. And one day he returned her, and someone had someone comb her locks out. Tell that she was bawling because, you know, her eyes are all puffy. So I know it was a terrible. And I cried because it was, I just knew she suffered. And so after a while of healing, I put her locks back, and then she had them until she was probably 8 years old. And then she said she wanted to have her fluffy hair. So probably, and so I took my time. It took like about an hour per lock to them out. So, you know, I was working on that, but she had locks up front, and like I would just like braid her hair in the back as I was working through it. And then at that point, my father had married someone, and one weekend when I sent her away with, you know, to stay with them, she came back, and I just had like maybe this much left to do, like the front corner of her hair, and it took an hour per lock. So I was gentle and patient with it.
Right. Especially as a mom. That's what you do as a mom.
Yeah.
Tender-headed, you know, so I was just trying to take my time and no rush, you know, and I wanted her to understand, like, she doesn't have to be like all neat and pretty. Like, natural is good. And she was happy with her multi-texture hair at the time, you know, her ponytails, and it was cool, you know. And so one weekend when I sent her with him and his wife, she came back and all her hair was combed out, and she was in pain because they didn't take that tender care
Mm,
that I took with her. And she told me she was crying, and she asked them to call me, to let them call me. They wouldn't let her.
Wow.
And I was furious. It was
mm,
very upsetting because
mhm.
that hurt her.
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
And I took some time before I responded.
Mm-hmm.
After a little while, I sent him a letter and, demanded an apology
Mm-hmm.
to her and to me, because, you can't just do stuff like that. Because imagine her being somewhere and begging to call her father, and someone not.
Right. Oh my
Yeah,
goodness.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Trust me, I understand. I have been there, so I understand.
Yeah. And
Mm.
unfortunately, me speaking up for her made him feel like he had to neglect her. So he only sees her a few hours on Sunday now, and he doesn't respond to her text messages. He's just a very petty, immature person. And
Mm,
really, he's trying to harm her, thinking it will harm me, but really he's just harming his own daughter.
right.
So
In the father-daughter, oh my gosh, it is so important for little girls to have fathers in their life. And I mean, like I said, my sister can definitely speak to that. It's just important to have a good what, how do you guys say it? Co-relationship.
Co-parenting.
yeah.
Experience.
Because and put our feelings aside as parents, because oh my gosh, these children, they just need all of us. They need a whole village to take care of
They
them in a very
do.
loving and kind way, because they're already going through
Mhm.
worldly stuff by itself. You know what I mean? The world as it is harsh. So you really
But
don't need it coming at you from within.
True, but here's what I learned also, and we do know that it really does take a village. But if you don't have that village, what that child really honestly needs is a good, solid parent. They need a parent they see that is happy. If you're a parent single as you are, because I was married and then divorced and then married. I'm not, like I say. Long story short is, tell the truth, in the devil. You know what I'm saying? So I've married the same man twice, and then another.
Mhm.
So it was married, divorced, married, you know. So, so you know. But I'm saying that is they always saw their mother happy. They always saw their mother fully engaged. No
Mhm.
matter what their father was doing, their
Yeah.
mother was always fully engaged.
Giving it all. My mom,
And
I
that's
know
it.
some moms put it all on the plate, put it all on the
And
table.
sometimes we do deplete ourselves, but you know what? Our kids see us and they
Mhm.
see the effort that we make. So if you just have the one parent, it is okay.
Yeah.
It is
It'll be
preferable
okay.
to have
It'll
two,
be okay.
but
Yeah.
even if you have the one, it'll be okay.
Thank
Out of
you.
out of the four children that I birthed and the five that I love, my daughter-in-law, I can tell you that God blessed them to go to college. I've got engineers. I've got what do you call that? Bachelor's in science. Two bachelors in science, and I have one working with his hands, doing a wonderful job, getting paid well. So
And built his
glory
own
be to
house.
God.
And built his own house.
And built his own and rebuilt his own house.
Mhm.
So glory be to God. It can be done, but you are going to have. I didn't know back then that I needed to take kind of time for myself. So if you
Mhm.
can just manage to make time for yourself,
And not feel
even in
guilty.
your busy, hmm?
And not feel guilty.
and
But
and especially not feel guilty, because you do have that single parent guilt.
Mhm.
I'll speak for myself. I had a single parent guilt,
Mhm.
so, but you know what? That's just a trick from the enemy. That's a trick
Mhm.
of the enemy. Take care of yourself so you can take better care of your kids. There were times where I was reading story to one child, go to the next child, read a story. And by the time I got to the older ones, I'm falling asleep. And they're hoping, and the older two were hoping that they were going to be the child that had the mother fall asleep in the bed because they knew I was tired.
Oh yeah.
But you
Mhm.
know what? We got through it, grace of God.
Amen.
So all I can say is single parenting is not the end of the world.
Mhm.
If that's what the hand that's been dealt, then and you go through it gracefully, praise God.
And plus it's peaceably, right? Because you have more peace,
Yes.
and they're in
Yes.
a much more loving environment. I can remember when I was in
Yeah.
Tampa, the word that was given was bankrupt, and I was actually in church, and the pastor said, if you are bankrupt, you can't you can't pour into other people.
They're
You have
not.
to fill your cup. You have to continuously fill your cup.
Yes.
And the same thing like being on a plane, put the oxygen on yourself first before you can
Yes.
put on others. But if we're depleted and bankrupt as moms or parents, then we're not going to be able to lovingly and refreshingly give back to our children.
Yeah.
So you're doing the right thing, you're on the right path, and you know, just keep doing what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing. Hey, so I know we don't have that much time left, but and thank you for sharing what you've shared so far. But girl, tell us about like your whole Jamaican experience, because you've been to Jamaica this year, like how many times already so far?
Twice this year. Unfortunately, they were for funerals because
Right.
after sister-in-law's cousin passed in December, I was there in January for her funeral. And when I went in January, I was taking my 12-year-old, she was 11 at the time, out of school. And I knew that she was going to miss some school, but I knew that we needed to be at home. And so I decided for us to book for a month for us to be gone in January. And so when I took her to school, when I took her to Jamaica, my cousin is a teacher at the school I used to go to because I was born in Jamaica.
Okay.
So I asked my cousin if there's any chance that Naima could come to school. So she checked with the principal and they allowed her to come to school there. So she went to school in Jamaica for about 3 weeks.
Awesome experience.
Yes, she loved it. And so even though she had the schooling in Jamaica, the school in America was still talking funny, but whatever. I was not worried about it because I knew that the experience of it, she was getting educated daily. She was socializing with other children. She was having just this authentic experience. So I'm very thankful that she had that experience. And that when my brother passed away, he passed away the day before I left Jamaica the first time. And we have a home and a family burial plot in Jamaica. So I knew that I was going to be coming home, because that's where our parents are buried. And so I asked the girl's grandma, she's from Arkansas. I asked her if she would come stay with the girls so that I could just go home by myself from my brother. I didn't know how I was going to handle it. And I didn't want to that outpouring of grief from myself around my children.
Right.
Miss Monica came and stayed with them, thankfully. And I went back for about 8 days to bury my brother. And so it's still challenging, but I'm thankful to have been able to go back by myself and just have that time. But the first time when I went, my uncles, they're retired, my mother's brothers, and they were both there. And it was actually quite nourishing to be there because I was home alone oftentimes with my girls. And so I went up to visit my aunt and uncle always, because almost every day, because the way our property is, it's 3 houses of my uncle, and my mother's house. So
that's cool.
Yes.
And so I would visit them, and then they would go into the garden or go into the farm plot and reap different things, and whatever they reap, they would bring me some,
So, what a blessing. What a blessing.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I wanted to say about my daughter is that although her father is being neglectful, I'm thankful that I have great men in my family that she pulls, and she's loved and nourished by men who are upright, So I'm thankful for that. And her Dutch coaches, she has a male and female coach I look at them as like almost grandparenting to her. And she goes to therapy as well, and her therapist is awesome. So I try to make sure that she has great support around her,
That's awesome. It really does take a village. I know some people don't like that term, but I think that it really does take a village to raise children. And when you look at other cultures, they have that. They have the whole village of people who are surrounding. And I think that's the thing that kind of breaks up American families, because some people live here and there and there. And it's cool that we're all doing great, but my goodness, how much more could we be benefiting if we all did live closer and
Exactly.
even when my sister Audrey and I were younger, we could run to our grandmother's house, who was not a good walk away, and then we had uncles and aunts and cousins, and we all just did things together. And now the kids aren't even growing up together. They could pass each other in the mall and not even recognize each other. We're just very
Yep. I grew up in a village, like I said, like everyone was close. And thankfully, when I was time to buy my home in Connecticut, the home I purchased was right next door to my cousin. So my girls have that opportunity to run back and forth. We share a backyard, and in the summertime, they're just running all around, and it's just really awesome.
even just hearing that just blesses my soul, because I think that you can live like where I live right now, and you don't even know your neighbors who live across the street or to the left, to the right. It's such a busy, different kind of society that we live in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was saying to her, if I were her, I would pack up my kids and move back to Jamaica. But I do understand, the thing about, I live in America, and there are definitely some benefits, but now I don't know. We don't have that much time to even go into that conversation.
Right. And Holly says that she has I have Jamaican in my root, she says, and my kids have Jamaican on both sides.
Okay. All right. Yes, I think I do remember. Having that conversation with Sasha. We need to have her and her daughter on here also. But we just thank you so much for having us. Is anything that you'd like to say in closing?
No, I was a little nervous, but this was a great conversation, and I want to thank you for coming.
Yes, we'll have to have you on again, and I mean, I didn't when I met, because one time I just wanted to meet her, and we met. Well, we would have Zoom kind of meetings with our group that we were with, but I met her at the park one day, and I got to see her children just running around, and I felt, because I don't have like my nieces and nephews and things are not here, I just so wanted to just pick up her babies and cuddle them. But man, that middle daughter is like, what? I failed. I don't need any help. Are you trying to help me? So so I just loved being at the park with her daughters, and your that was your neighbor's son or your girlfriend's son?
My friend's son. She lives a little ways away, but she's a part of my village. I have great friends and family that I call upon, and we call upon each other to help support each other with the children and just with life. So I'm thankful that I do try to build a village around me and my girls.
Girl, how was the symphony? Because this girl be all over the place. I'm like, girl, like when you know something's coming, can you like text me and say, go get your ticket and I'll meet you at the symphony? Because she was Sunday. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try and feel like I'm not all of my feelings, because she be all over the place. In a good way, though. In a good way.
Thank
you. How was the symphony?
It was really nice. I brought my daughter's grandmother. She calls me her daughter-in-law, so I'll call her that, my mother-in-law. Because the girl's father and I were never married, and we're not together right now, but their grandma is awesome and very supportive. She flies out a few times a year to visit them and offer support at home. And so her birthday was last Wednesday. She turned 63, so I wanted to give her something memorable. So I got us tickets to the symphony at the Bushnell. There are veterans discounts. So
what?
Yes,
girl.
I brought.
I'm trying to continue. I'm trying to continue loving you, because you left me out on that one.
I'm gonna take my niece and nephew in the spring, so I'll definitely give you a heads up about that.
Okay.
But it was a great surprise because the conductor was Black. I had no idea.
What? Yes, oh my God. Oh my God.
I've never seen it.
I know, right? That is
on YouTube.
I took the 1-year-old out during a part of the first session because she was making noise and people I didn't take it out for the people. I took it out just to give her some freedom, because people were turning, looking like, okay, you're gonna do something. But and the second part, the grandma took her out for a little bit, so we both got to enjoy it, and it was great for the girls to have that experience, so I'm thankful. It was wonderful because I played the clarinet growing up.
Yeah, I did too.
Oh, cool.
Oh, yeah.
My oldest daughter, she did piano and violin, so I wanted her to see, how awesome being in a band and joining that would be for school. So I'm trying to encourage her to keep it up in school where it's free, so
right.
Yeah, so it was wonderful.
Nice. Well, this was such a wonderful chat. We'll have to make sure we do it again, and you have such a busy calendar. We need to get you in here. Okay, so when you have going on in the next 3 months? Okay, in the next 3 months. But coming on is just like having chat with girlfriends. That's what I tell people.
It is. It really is.
Chat, and I would never do anything to make people feel uncomfortable or ask them an uncomfortable question. So, but we do appreciate you coming on today, and we just pray you have such good energy and good cheer for this whole holiday that I'm always praying for veterans who don't have a circle of friends, and this is really a sad season for some people who don't have a circle. So we do pray for veterans. We pray for anybody who's out there and they're alone and they don't have anybody to share this time with. So we do thank you, and we appreciate you for coming on, and we will definitely have you back again.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Oh, she clicked off already. Oh, you still there? Okay, there you are. I'm sorry. Go ahead. We didn't hear you. We can't hear you.
Sometimes that car connection between
we
phone
can't,
and,
we can't hear you.
No.
I'm sorry. We can't hear you. Okay. Okay. So we're just going to close out. And how do we close out here? My sister Aurora says,
peace,
love,
and blessings.
Thank you. Look at she got it. She was doing it with us. Until next time, guys. Thank you for joining us here at NubianQueen podcast with Adjoa and Nubia. Yes. And if you have a subject or a topic, just send us a message and we would love to have you on. All right. So that was great for today. All right. Until next time. Ciao for now.
Ciao for now. Toodles.